Welcome back from the break. You're still live on Metro Sports. I'm Michael Kofiodo. This is Editorial here on Metro Sports. I'm sure that today's editorial is going to be very brief. Very brief. I'm not sure we'll go more than 10 minutes. Player welfare, we believe, forms an important part if we're to develop our football, if we're to deliver a quality league that will see players give off their best, league that will go to the stadium and be excited by, one, the quality of players we see, two, by the quality of football that is delivered. The quality of players is different from the quality of football. There are times where you have quality players but do not deliver quality football. Ronald Araujo is a quality player. If he's not got the quality, he won't be at FC Barcelona. But on the big stage, on the big nights, he's not delivered quality football. So sometimes the issue may not be that teams lack quality. The issue may not be that the league lacks quality. The quality of players may be there, but there are other factors that will bring out the best in these guys. There are other factors that will complement the quality of these players. And if we're to speak in general, for instance, if we're talking about the quality of the league, I'm sure the quality of the players will come in, their experience, what they give off on the field. I'm sure infrastructure will come in, because if the players are good and the pitch is bad, they can't play good football. And even to a large extent, production, what we put out for people to consume, what the people see with their eyes, what they hear, the commentaries, also contributes to the quality of the game. And for the quality of delivery by the players, welfare is very important. And that is why the Metro Sports editorial team is worried by recent statements giving signals that our players are not well taken care of. We can reference the recent interview by Coach J.E. Sapong, who's had a very short stint with 11 Wonders Football Club. And over the years, we continue to hear that our players are not paid well, that Premier League players are paid 500 Ghana cedis, some 400, some 1,000, and that the best are paying 5,000, 10,000. Asante Kotoko, Hearts of Oak, Mediama, yes. These are some of the best paying clubs on the local front. Our checks also have revealed that Samatex is doing very well. Kaila United also doing very well when it comes to salaries, at least at our level. We don't want to go into the comparison with other countries, because if we do, then we'll see that even the salary structure falls short of the standards on the African continent. But we don't want to go there. At least we have seen some efforts, collaborative efforts, between the Ghana Football Association and the Professional Footballers Association of Ghana, PFAG. At least there is the introduction of the standard player contract. There will be the introduction of the minimum wage salary from the 2026-2027 football season. Putting these things on paper is one thing. Implementation is another thing. Enforcement is another issue. And I mean, in the past, we knew that there were genuine economic challenges. So sometimes when it is said that, oh, some clubs have not paid salaries the whole season, some clubs owe up to 3 months, some clubs owe up to 5 months. Sometimes you feel for the people who finance these clubs. But in a period where government has supported each of our Premier League clubs with 1 million Ghana cedis, facilitated and paid by the Ghana Football Association 3 weeks into the season. The Ghana Premier League started in September, middle of September. That was when the Ghana Premier League started. By middle of October, the Ghana Football Association had facilitated the payment of 1 million Ghana cedis to each of the 18 Ghana Premier League clubs. Middle of October. So, November. I even mentioned 3 months in my intro. It is not even up to 3 months. The league started in September. I think it was 15th or 16th, middle of September. October, November, 2 months, 2 weeks into the Ghana Premier League season. There are clubs that have not paid salaries since the league started. We will be tempted to believe that. And look, I will cite examples with 2 clubs. Now, we have had people go on radio. We have had journalists assert that Hearts of Oak owe players up to 3 months' salaries. That in the last 4 months, Hearts of Oak have not paid, or they've only paid 1 out of 3 months, like 4 months' salaries. 1 month out of 4 months. And so they owe their players up to 3 months' salaries. The club has not reacted. These are things that are said on TV, on radio, all the time. If it is not true, for a club like Accra Hearts of Oak, for a club of the stature of Accra Hearts of Oak, Continental Club Masters, Millennium Club, Champions League winners, one-time number 8 ranked team in the whole world. Somebody will say the whole wide world. Put Real Madrid, Manchester, Barcelona, Chelsea, AC Milan, Dortmund, Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, Olympique Marseille. Put all these clubs together. There has been a point in the 21st century where Accra Hearts of Oak was ranked number 8 in the whole world. It is the oldest existing club in Ghana. So Hearts of Oak cannot say that they are not concerned that people continue to allege within the media space that they have not paid their players up to 3 months salaries and they don't react and they are okay. I mean, what this does is that it allows for us to believe that indeed that is the case, that indeed they owe these players, that indeed they have not paid their salaries. Because this has a way of affecting the image of a club like Hearts of Oak. For it to be discussed in public domain, within the media circles. This has a way of driving away potential sponsors. So if it is not true, we expect that Hearts of Oak would have reacted by now. Another club in question is 11 Wonders, where the immediate past coach, J.E. Sapon, who left the club not up to 2 weeks ago, has said that food is not provided for players, player welfare is zero, salaries have not been paid since the league started, and the club is unconcerned. The club does not react. What you do is that you are fueling the perception that these statements are true once you have not reacted. Because if these statements are false, if these statements are inaccurate, you must be in a hurry. You don't have to react by going to radio stations or TV stations and reacting to or telling your story. But one simple statement from any of the two clubs will put closure to the matter if indeed they don't owe the players. If indeed player welfare has not been thrown to the gutters. One simple statement will clarify everything. It will clear all doubts, clear the air, and put the club's image intact. But once you have not reacted, we are tempted to believe that it is true. And if it is true, why should a club like Accra Hearts of Oak, 11 Wonders, that has been paid 1 million Ghana cedis each by the government, all players up to 3 months, when the league is not even up to 3 months old? So what did they do with these monies? And you see, these things allow for people to continue to lose trust. Today you tune on your radio and people are mocking Hearts of Oak. People are referring to Hearts of Oak as Kilentuya Club. Kilentuya. Why should it be so? Do we not know that it has a way of affecting the image of the club? It has a way of affecting the integrity of our league, the image of our league. Are we not concerned? And that is why some people, even in the past, I remember there were clubs that were not paying salaries like these clubs are alleged to be doing. And there was a coach, again we can reference Mohamed Gagu, who was once a coach of a Premier League club. That was is a statement he made as an individual, so I will not mention the name of the club. But he was coach of the club. He resigned, and he said that the club was not paying the players. So the players now resorted to betting as a way of living. So what they do is that when they have a match, the players of the said club will go and place bets behind the opposing team. They will play players who play for a particular club. Let's say if the club we're talking about is MOKFC. Players of MOKFC, if we are playing against Coach Eben 11, because I have not paid my players and they are hungry, my players will go to the betting centers. Even now, they don't have to go by the time they were going to the betting centers. Now they can do it on their phones. And then they will place bet. Me, my players, MOKFC, will place bet that MOKFC will lose. So how do you expect these players to be competitive on the field? And it brings to mind this adage in Chi that one share oyirea, otrene jamambo. Maybe Coach Eben should help me interpret that in English. That if you fail to take care of your wife, or failing to take care of your wife is showing her prostitution or adultery. That is what you do. And I mean, it sits very well with the example we have cited with Coach Mohamed Gagu and his team at the time, where the club was not taking care of the players, and so the players took to betting, something which is against the ethics of the game. And then they went on to place bets against their own team in a game where the players are going to play. Then the players have placed bet, they've put their money, they've investment. They say, where your heart is, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. So they put their treasure behind the opposing team. So their heart is with the opposing team. So they will not play their hearts out, they will play to lose. Because in the end, they've got to make a living. And you see, and this is, you see if Chipsa was here, when these 1 million Ghana cedis had been paid to the clubs, or at the time it had not even been paid, but when it was announced that this club was going to receive 1 million Ghana cedis, you see if Chipsa was here on Metro Sports, and he said that GFA should keep some part of the monies, so that the FA will pay players their salaries directly. In all sincerity, at the time, I thought it didn't make sense. But how is Stevie Wright money for Barcelona or for Real Madrid? Then you go and tell Juan Laporta or Florentino Perez that the La Liga board will keep the money and be paying the players directly. It didn't make sense. But perhaps Chipsa as a player, Chipsa as an official of the PFAG, Chipsa as a player intermediary, knew something we didn't know. That when these clubs take the money, some of them will be interested in changing their personal cars, not even the team buses. Some of them will invest the money into their private businesses. Some of them will go on holidays. Some of them will chill with the money, forgetting that the key components of the game, the players, have to be taken care of. Let's listen to what Yusuf Chipsa said while he was.
So as part of our proposal, we suggested to the FA that, fortunately for us, and thanks to the FA and government, through the Chief of Staff and the Ministry of Youth and Sports, the Minister for Youth and Sports, the ADESA and FA partnership is advancing in 1 million Ghana cedis to all clubs, all Premier League clubs. So we propose that that minimum amount of money should be deducted from this an amount to be distributed to the clubs and secured at the FA, so that the FA makes sure that this minimum amount of money is being paid to the players at the end of the month. If this is done, then the players are assured that at the end of every month, at least there's 1,500 cedis coming in into their accounts.
What has been the response or the posture of the FA to this particular proposal of withholding some of the money from the sponsorship or partnership deals and paying directly to the players?
It's been positive, but you see, I think it's one of the reasons why they intend to roll it out from next season, because they need to at least consider one or two factors to make sure that all stakeholders are in the know and agree to this. But then I think that the good that comes with this policy is for Ghana football. It's for all of them. The money still belongs to the club because the payment is being made on behalf of the clubs. But we just don't want to have the situation whereby some of them will be tempted to use their money for their personal purposes.
I mean, there are big clubs in this country. If I should mention names, I'm going to have problem. I don't fear the problem, but I don't want to drag today's conversation. But there are some big clubs, the big clubs you can think of, that owe players up to 3 months. If Chipsa is making a lot of sense. He says next year when the minimum wage salary bill will be implemented by the Football Association, at least the FA should calculate for the 12 months. The minimum wage is 1,500. So deduct the 12 months from the money that is due the clubs. Keep it with the FA, and then every month the FA will disburse the minimum wage. Because at least with that, some of the players will be okay. They will be okay. If those that are owed 3 months, from the situation Coach J.E. Sapon describes at 11 Wonders, I'm sure if the players were having 1,500 cedis every month, at least they will be okay. So maybe the FA can consider that. But you see, how do we even motivate the government to be doing more when they have paid these monies and 2 months or less, there are issues such as clubs not paying the players? And I remember that in the speech of Honorable Mahama Ayariga, the majority leader, one who is credited for muting the idea of this government support or subvention for our league, mentioned that this move is expected to curb player exodus. But when the people are taking the money and they are not giving it to the players, they are not taking care of the players well, how will the target of controlling or reducing player exodus be met? Now, Division 1 clubs are also pushing the FA that make a case to government. We also deserve something. How is the government even going to take this? Except that we can make a pledge that we, the Division 1 class, when we get the money, we'll take good care of the players. We will not be like some of our senior brothers. We'll take good care of them. So government can consider to give us something. But I feel this is a very serious issue the clubs must sit up. The players are the key components. They are the key characters of the game. Once we fail to take care of them, we're not growing the game. You can share your thoughts with us, 0533 292525. 0533 292525. This has been another edition of Editorial.